Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, based on where in the world you're watching from. Hoping you're having yourself a wonderful morning. Hoping you're having yourself a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. Say one cup of coffee or tea, then I'll go. Yes, I'm in the state of Atlanta, Georgia, and it is on the cold side this morning. It's 31 degrees right now, so it's freezing, but it's gonna warm up in the what they said high of what 60 today. It's gonna be nice weekend weather. So if you have outdoor plan for this weekend, it's a nice weekend to have outdoor plans. Yes, we're gonna be happy again. All other weekends, bros. The ice or snow weekend. So yes, we can go back to normalcy this weekend. We can go back and play soccer in the park. And then all know that it's Super Bowl weekend. So people gonna out on Sunday watching the Super Bowl. But if you gotta be out, be careful in the streets because they have protests all over. And also, ice is out. They're not melting anytime soon, so be careful. If you're not here legally and you have immigration problem, be careful in the streets. Yep, I was watching the news last night where said ICE headquarter or the training is in Atlanta, so they're not leaving Atlanta no time soon. They'll be in Atlanta, Georgia. And we see where they trying to set up some detention center all over different states. Some of the city that they try to set it up in, it's bigger than it's larger than the population. They want to set up a detention center that hold up to 10,000 immigrants or aliens, as they call people. What interesting topic of the morning is Steve Bannon. He's calling for the president of United States of America to deploy ICE and local police to the polling station for vote. Once you have vote, he said they must surround all polling station. So is it about legality in America or illegality? I don't understand because first, if you use a green card holder, you cannot vote. You have to be a citizen of the United States of America in order to vote. And some state, if you have a felony, you cannot vote because the fine is ridiculous. It's like over 100 and 1,000 for the fine if you go to the polls and vote and they find out. You cannot. Also, if you are a green card holder, you cannot go on jury duty. You have to be a United States citizen. In order for you to be a juror, you have to be a citizen of United States of America. Well, when you become a permanent resident, From time to time, they will send you that you're on jury duty. You have to report. But if you are not a citizen, you cannot. You cannot. Before I become a citizen, they send it and they state that when I call and I explain, they said, no, you're not a citizen. You cannot be a juror. Same thing. If you're not a citizen, you cannot vote. If you're here illegally, they're not gonna send you documents for you to represent because you cannot vote. In order for you to vote, you have to be citizen of the country. So for Steve Bannon to asking the president to send local police and ICE agent to those polling station to do what? That's my question. To intimidate people? I think that's your what? That's your constitutional right is to exercise your vote for whoever you wanna vote for. So what? They're trying to take away your freedom of speech, freedom of expression, freedom of the press, freedom of religion. What they're trying to do in America. Because why would you want to intimidate people for the right to express? A lot of people die back in the days to vote. Many people. First, women couldn't vote in America, and they fight so women could vote. Black people couldn't vote in America. They fight to vote. So what are they doing? Are they trying to silence the nation? I have an accident. Hope it's not on my side. Okay, it's on the other side. What are they trying to do? Silence the people in the country? So ICE going out and creating mayhem and havoc and chaos in all these cities. The president run and said, okay, we're gonna get rid of all illegal immigrants out of America and criminals. But we see that that's not what happening. They're also detaining citizens. And if you detain in citizens of a country, and then when you arrest them and put them in detention center, then they have to prove that they are citizens, and then nothing come of it. And nothing come of it. Because they said it's federal, you cannot sue them. Now we see is intimidation statics all over, where they're intimidating the citizen of the communities. Because if you doing your due diligence, you're supposed to know who is a citizen or who is here illegally or who is not. You don't even have to go to that extreme or extra mile to go pick them up at their job site. Because if you're working in America, most likely you're paying a TIN number, which is your tax. You're paying taxes. Most of these Latino, they're paying taxes. We understand that some of them is here illegally, but if you're in your country and you cannot get work, and you come to America, which work is easy to get, you don't commit no felon, and you don't commit any crime, you're supposed to, and you're paying your taxes, because that's what run America. Taxation without representation. That's what run America. You see, we're in Texas. A senator or congressman was saying that, listen, half of our GDP come from immigrants. Half. Just look at it. Half of the every year, half of the GDP come from immigrants. Half, you know. So half of it. So if half of the GDP come from people that have no undocumented work or working in the state, can you imagine if they get documented and they pay their full taxes? It would be three quarter of the revenue. Yeah, we all know that the government keep on violating the people rights. But under the President Donald Trump, as a United States citizen, you don't have any rights. You see that every day because he veto and he signed executive order for everything. Even the judges, he go against the judges. So what I tell you, he tell you. And I was reading the book about Byron, which he said is gonna be the last president of America. When you read that book, your eyes gonna open real wide. They say things just don't happen overnight. It takes times to develop. And when they were running with Project 2025 with Stephen Miller, everybody was like, that's not gonna happen in America. And the first day of office, January 2025, when the president sworn in, as soon as he sworn in, he went and he signed executive orders and orders and orders and orders. And from that day until today, which is the 6th day of February, he continued to sign executive order infringing on the rights of American citizens. And yet we say, yeah, we are American citizens, we are patriot. Oh, we love America. When all your rights are sweeping away underneath your feet, day in, day out. And when we see his right hand man, Steve Bannon, come out and tell you that, hey, we're going to have ICE and local police at the midterm election. So all who going out to vote, well, they got to show ID to ICE and local police before they go into the booth to vote. That's what you're telling me. So it's gotta be what? You gotta intimidate people like that. Come out to vote. Don't come out to vote because ICE gonna be at the polling station and local police. But ICE, the local police are always there. So you tell me people got afraid of the masked man because the masked man is the boogeyman. Nobody asks about not showing ID to vote. In order for you to vote, you have to show ID in some state. So what are you talking? What's the problem? What are you talking about? Nobody said not to show ID. We're just saying. But it's desperation time. They are desperate because all the elections since he won, all of his candidates is losing. So the Democrat is gaining ground both in the Senate and in Congress. So now it's very thin. And if he, as he said, if the Democrat win the midterm election, they are going to try to impeach him. That's what he was saying. So that's that's what he said. If he lose the midterm election, if he lost the midterm election, they're gonna impeach me. So he fighting hard to hold on to the Senate and the House. Because if he lose both the Senate and the House, he can't sign any executive order like he used to. Because the Democrat they're gonna contest everything. But remember to like and share and subscribe to Tampa underscore 1960 TV, where we keep you up with what's going on in the neck of our wood. Remember to like. It's saying, oh my God, somebody with a degree, let's bow down. Bow down to what? What are you bowing to? So it's getting rather interesting. And we all see that how desperate they are. The president is feeling it. I don't think he sleep at night. I don't think so. I don't think the president sleep at night. He have to be up, watching the news, watch everything that happening. It's like how he was up watching the Grammy and said, Trevor Noah, we're gonna send our lawyer, we're gonna send a lawsuit for what you said. Who tell you that I was there on the island? Then Trevor Noah got to defend himself. Then all those damning reports, Trevor Noah lawyer gonna get them. So I don't think he wanna do that. But what are your thoughts this morning? Do you think it's a good thing that Steve Bannon said? Because we all know that local police always be at the polling station. But for him to say surrounded the polling station. So you tell me you have what? Because if every polling station, say your division have what? 1 million people? How many ICE agents do you have? You have 1 million ICE agents? Because you're going to have midterm elections, so it's going to be. So what he going to have? Because he say going to surround it, the polling station with ICE agents. So if in each division you have 5 or what, 10, because some divisions are bigger than others. So you're going to have 5 or 10 polling station in some division or 15.
So you're gonna have a lot of ICE agents around these polling stations. Things that they say I do make no sense, but that's what we said. It makes sense to us, but it make a lot of sense to them because they can intimidate people, and that is one of the tactics that they are using. Intimidation. So they come in and they intimidate. But what we gonna do? We are all here. We just gotta live and learn. Somebody walking across the street. Whoa! This guy didn't see the person walking. They need those to have the lights on it. But it have the light, but the person never pressed the light. It's supposed to light up once you're walking across the pedestrian. You said, Big Brother, I hear this, but we can't hear it. Yeah, but it's rather interesting, because we all see like what last month, the 21st of January, where he banned 75 country because he say he wanna get rid of chain migration. But all those countries that he stopped visa from, all those countries are black nation. So he tell you that listen, the black. Oh, somebody hit that post. It seemed like if you're black living in this country, we don't want you in America anymore. So you cannot file for them. Yeah, he's a big friend of Europe, advocate of Europe. I don't care who comes in. Yeah, but the reason why the people are protesting, because you got to look at it from a financial perspective. Now, if you have what said the population in Atlanta, Georgia, said like what between 5 to 15 or 20 million people live in Atlanta, Georgia. We have the biggest airport of one of the busiest airport in America, which is Hartsfield Jackson International or domestic. Both the airport. So Hartsfield Jackson International Airport is one of the busiest airport, or the second busiest airport in the world. How many workers do you think gonna work just at Hartsfield Jackson International? And we see where a lot of plants is moving to Atlanta, Georgia, because the previous governor, they lobby and tell her like, hey, we're gonna open up the state and the city for business. So they push that. We have the port of Savannah, where a lot of goods and trade happen. So they push for people to come to Atlanta to work. So because of that, you're gonna have a lot of people come to Atlanta because what you're gonna have the markets that are booming, which is the construction market is booming, agriculture is booming, and hospitality. Now saying this to saying that you're gonna have a lot of people who come to America, they're gonna, hey, if we can get across the border and come into America and we make it to Atlanta, Georgia, then we can be somebody. Not talking about who involved in criminality, but you're working a 9 to 5, paying your TIN. Now, this person come in and said, listen, we have too much of those people in here. Let's get rid of them. Now, when you look at the construction site, is most immigrant working on those construction sites. The roadway is most immigrant work on it. Cleaning floors, cleaning, what you call them, nursing assistant. It's most immigrant is doing that. You don't see no American doing no cleaning nobody butt. You don't see that. So why you wanna get rid of the kitchen? Because the kitchen is where the food come from, right? So if you get rid of the kitchen, how you gonna eat? And that's what is happening. So when the president get rid of all these immigrant workers who working hard, because I tell you, if it is 100 degrees, if it's 100 degrees, you see them on top of the roof. I ain't going there. But yet you see them up there. So when you look at it now, and no one, whether you're Democrat or Republican, I don't care who you be, you as a congressman or a senator, you're supposed to come and say, hey, come to think of it, what you're doing is wrong. What you're doing is wrong because these people are the backbone of America. But you use rhetoric and get them out of here. Let's get them out of here because they're here illegally. But you don't look like they're the one who cleaning the shit. So how can you tell me that common sense don't tell us, hey, they're doing a fine job, you know? Let's see how we can make the country better by get them a permanent resident. In New York, Hillary Clinton was saying that, as long as you're here and you're paying your TIN, you get a driver's license. So once you get a driver's license, that leads you to what? A green card. And once you're paying your taxes for over a period of time, then you can also become a citizen. We all know that people who cannot prove who they are cannot vote. But before you get the letter to fill out, it tell you, unless you cannot read and write. So if you cannot read and write and you go to the polling station and you're not a citizen, then they're gonna arrest you. Because what they said, ignorant to the law is a no-brainer. Yeah, you have to register in order to vote. We all know that. But you know that when you go to get your driver's license or renew your driver's license, you sign up right then and there. So once you go into that DMV, they register you to vote if you wanna vote. Or if you want, you can also say no. And that's your constitutional right, is to vote for whoever party you choose. So for the government to, or for Steve Bannon to try to implement scarecrow tactics or intimidation tactics for people who going to vote to exercise their right, it's tell me what type of country are we living in. The higher echelon just tell you like, hey, We need to hold power. We can't lose power because if we lose power, a lot of us gonna go to prison, not jail, but prison. So that's why they're trying to hold on to a straw. But as a joning man, hold on to a straw and hold on for his or her life. And that's what they're doing right now because I tell you, if they lose the midterm election, that is gonna be chaotic because a lot of them, a lot of them gonna have to go to the house and go in front and they're gonna be questioning just like how you see the question Marco Rubio and he was having a fix. His face turned red. He drink. He put the glass to his head so many times. He put the glass to his head and until now he did take a sip of that water. You say it's a right view. I'm not lobbying for no political party, my brother. I live in America. I live in America 20 odd years. I never vote. I don't see the need to vote because both of them is the same. They don't lobby on behalf of the people. They lobby on behalf of their pockets. I've been through several presidents. But wherever you're watching from, thanks for watching. And remember to love somebody. If you love yourself, you will love others. Until tomorrow morning, walk good. Peace. I'm out of here. Love thy brother, man. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to Tampa underscore 1960 TV, where we keep you up with what's going on in the neck of our wood. Walk good.